Hey, somebody on Zoom, can y'all talk and make sure we can hear y'all in the chamber?
Hey.
Okay, let me see if I can switch it over real quick. Okay, say something again, Genevieve, if you don't mind.
Hey.
Okay. Oh wait, hang on. Let me. Okay, sorry. Go ahead again, Genevieve.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, let me look at the. Sorry, go ahead one more time, Genevieve.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, perfect. We can hear you now. Awesome. Okay, hey y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. I just have a couple announcements before we get going. The first one is please more than ever be mindful of the COVID precautions while we're in the chamber tonight. I know there's the flu and other things going around right now, so y'all just please be mindful of that. We have some hand sanitizer as well for when y'all come in and out if you need that. Second, me and some of the team made y'all some goodie bags. Y'all should have gotten those in your seats. Just a little token of appreciation for everything y'all done over the semester. If any of y'all didn't get that or are missing something, please let me know. Just a little bit of ASB merch. Yeah, some swag if y'all want that. And then finally, I know we have some proxies here tonight. So when the clerk calls roll, if y'all just say proxy at that time. Whenever the person you're proxying for's name is called. Are there any questions before we get started? Great. I now call to order the November 16th meeting of the Associated Student Body Senate at 7:05 p.m. We will now have a moment of silence given by Senator Osmond.
Please join me in 3 minutes of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Osmond. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance given by Senator Beard. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, Senator Beard. The clerk will now call roll.
Emlon. Here. Ashmore. Here. Here. Burgess. Here. Cooper. Here. DeQuilla. Here. DeBell. Proxy. Day. Here. Dedman. Turbany. Kenny.
Here.
Drury. Greenwald.
Here.
Gully.
Here.
Harris. Here. Hurts.
Sorry, I was on the corner
Hollowell.
Here.
Howell.
Here.
Hughes. Here. Jackson.
Here.
Johnston. Here. Jones Verdict.
Here. Crossing.
Kelly. Here. King. Ladner. Mattson.
Here.
Miles.
Crossing.
Monroe. Murphy. Neighbors. Nelson.
Here.
Osmond. Here. Patterson.
Crossing.
Pierce.
Here.
Ricketts. Here. Roberts. Roby. Here. Ross.
Crossing.
Ryan. Here. Smith.
Here.
Soto Lopez.
Here.
Stradinger.
Crossing.
Wall. Here. Watts. Here. Wilson.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
And then I got two.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Secretary Hayward. And then another thing I meant to mention to y'all, we're going to be running the mic tonight since we do have some people on Zoom and for the live stream. So if y'all just be patient for it to get to y'all. We will now move into a period of reports. If you have nothing to report, please say no reports. The Committee on Rules.
The Committee on Rules passed the following bills to come to the floor this evening. Bill 21-20, 21-21, 21-22, 21-23, 21-24. So we're gonna fund that. And in addition to this, the following individuals have been approved to speak on the floor tonight. Secretary Caitlin Hayward, Director of Public Relations Georgia McCullough, Legislative Aide Helen Phillips, Treasurer Alex Mabry, Attorney General Grace Dragna, Deputy Chief of Staff Katie Williamson, and all of the open seat candidates.
Thank you, Senator Osmond. The Committee on Governmental Operations.
The Committee on Government Operations has approved for consideration Senate bills previously listed by the Chair of the Rules Committee and is presenting those tonight.
Thank you, Senator Ryan. The Committee on Inclusion and Cross-Cultural Engagement.
No reports.
Thank you, Senator Durbingy. The Committee on Athletics. Is the Vice Chair of Athletics here? Oh, Teal, do you have any reports?
No reports.
Great. The Committee on Student Life.
No reports.
Okay, the Committee on Infrastructure.
No reports.
And the Committee on Academics.
Vice Chair.
Is the Vice Chair of Academics here?
No reports.
All right. And the Committee on External Affairs.
Okay, so I'll be brief. I'll try to. I want to first thank everybody who came out to the Alderman meeting today. I reached out to Mark, so we'll see how that went, but I feel like it went really well. We had a couple of companies come out. Also, if you guys are looking to group me, Right Taxi, he's the GOAT. If you guys need a ways to go, use him. He was hilarious. But it went really well. We're kind of see where it goes from here. Then we got one more meeting, which is like the questions meeting. So again, same thing. If you guys want to go out, get an institute engagement point and see where Oxford's cross-country team become awarded for state. I love local governance. Okay, so second thing, Senator Miles and Senator Watson and I will be having a meeting with the Oxford Police Department tomorrow. To go ahead and let you guys know what we're going to be talking about. So if anybody has any suggestions or any ideas, you can reach out to us about it, and we can try to see what your guys' input is going to be. So first, we're going to be attempting to get date rape drug testing. It's going to be a cool poster form where it's going to be testing for 2 different types of date rape drugs. We're planning to distribute them out on tabling days and sending out to all the sororities to prevent that type of stuff. Second, Jamie's working on a town hall like what we did with Mayor Tannehill with Chief McCutcheon. And we're working on a commercial, we did with partnering with Keith Carter on playing on the Jumbotrons during basketball and baseball games. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think I have the face for it. And last thing, we're planning on having information forms at the bars that we put in the bar bathrooms. So if you guys have any ideas on what we could be doing or any suggestions on what we are doing, I'd love to hear it. Just go ahead and send me a group message. The farmer's market's still being worked on.
All right. Thank you, Senator Madsen. We will now hear reports from Legislation Monitor Miller on the routing of passed legislation.
So Senate Bill 2119, Resolution 2112, and Resolution 2013 have all been completely signed as of 11:15. Senate Bills 2120, 2121, 2122, 2123, and 2124 were sent to the light branch on 11:14, following approval by the Rules Committee. Supporting documents containing proposed code changes and a memo from the DOJ were also sent out. The 18th edition of the senatorial comment was sent out on 11:13. All legislation and supporting documents have been uploaded to the shared Google Drive, and within the shared drive, the bill and resolution templates have both been revised. Please use these updated resources when continuing to write legislation.
Thank you very much, Monitor Miller. The senatorial comment looked great as always, and there were some really good mental health resources included in that, so y'all be sure to check that out. And we will now hear a report from Deputy Chief of Staff Williamson on behalf of ASB President Atkins. Hang on one second, Katie.
Okay, cool. All right, so first of all, congratulations again to the people that worked on the transportation hub. Ben and Madsen in particular make this family proud. The prodigal son of our many suburbs. It's thank you for the feedback. It's a huge success story for Senate cabinet collaboration, and we're very much looking forward to keeping that energy alive coming into the new year. We're also looking forward to the break, which being a time of rest, and also to revisit our year's agenda, to take into account what we did well and what we did, what we can do to improve. And as always, we really want senators to reach out to your cabinet counterparts to collaborate through the 2 months of our term, and that is the break, and we will be doing the same. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Deputy Chief of Staff Williamson. We will now hear a report from Campus Liaison Newsom on constituency engagement opportunities and student opinions submitted to the Senate.
Hi. The constituency engagement opportunities are posted in the newsletter as usual, and there is one student opinion form submitted. It is from Katie Williamson regarding Title V revisions and campus elections. I'm aware of the revision for consideration tonight doesn't cover this, but we all need to hear it. The campaign period is too long. Our code says we have a 12-day campaign period. Try telling that to the teams that have to keep up the energy. Campaigning is not just the way we elect our leaders, it's a tangible demonstration of care for the university's future. I eat, breathe, and don't sleep campaigns more than almost anyone else, but it's unfair to the candidates, their teams, and the student body to sustain huge amounts of energy and effort for 2 full weeks while being full-time students, when a shorter time frame would still allow the student body to make an informed and exciting decision.
All right. Thank you very much, Liaison Newsom. We will now move into a period of nominations. First, we will hear nominations for the open Senate seats. These candidates have completed the necessary petitions and have been certified by Attorney General Dragna. They are as follows. Zachary Newsom. Did Zachary Newsom ever show up? Okay. Cross Deltado, James Lee, Preston Oden, Reese Anderson, Hannah Watts, Brittany Bustillos, and Jonathan White. These candidates will follow our stand-in sergeant at arms to the lobby and will enter one at a time to deliver a speech for a maximum of 1 minute each. Will the candidates for the open Senate seats please follow the legislative council members to the lobby? Is that correct? Zachary Newsom is not here. Okay, awesome. Yeah. And then Cross Deltado, you'll be up first. And then just a reminder to all of y'all, be sure to take either mental or physical notes while the candidates are speaking so that you know what some of their campaign platform points are, and that you can engage in a really good debate. Okay. Yep, cross del Tato. Awesome. Sorry? Yeah, he's going to put it. All right, yours. And you'll have 1 minute whenever you begin.
Good evening, Senators. My name is Cross Del Tato, and this is my first year at this University of Mississippi, a state mired in a sense of lack of progress, a state that is seen to be stuck in the past. But as I came to this university, I realized that was simply not the case. This university has done an exemplary job of leading the field in progress of race relations and also just general social awareness. But I still believe we can do more, specifically on sustainability and efficiency. This university has done a great job using its resources effectively throughout the years, but I believe it can do more. Specifically, I have a new idea that would lead the university to be a leader in sustainability and environmental awareness, specifically vertical gardens. Vertical gardens would prove to be a new and outstanding thing that we could add to our existing buildings that would allow the University of Mississippi not only to lead the SEC in environmental awareness, but also the nation. Imagine that, the University of Mississippi leading the nation in awareness and environmental sustainability. I believe that I can do this, not just because I'm an impassioned individual, but I'm an impassioned student at the University of Mississippi. And I hope to be able to represent those students who are like me here too. Thank you.
All right, next up we'll have James Lee. All right, the podium's yours, and you'll have 1 minute. That'll begin whenever you start.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is James Lee, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a freshman who came to Ole Miss to go to school, but also get involved and have a say in what goes on in our community. The University of Mississippi is known nationally for its deep traditions, beautiful campus, and incredible atmosphere. It is also known as a battleground of the civil rights movement, an example of a place that changed to be more inclusive and accepting. Ole Miss has been shaped and changed by the actions and attitudes of the student body. The university today mirrors the visions of student leaders past, men and women who cared deeply for the school and wanted to see it continuously improve and leave it better than they found it. I want to be a leader on this campus, and I want to continue with this great path of positive change that we have been set on in order to make Ole Miss one of the most respected and admired schools in the nation. That's why I'm running to be an ASB Senator.
Yes, sir. All right, next up we'll have Preston Oden. All right, the podium's yours, and you'll have 1 minute whenever you start.
Hello, my name is Preston Oden, and I don't know if anyone in this room is aware, but we actually we make up 12 tons of trash every day at the University of Mississippi. And I don't believe that's well known enough. I think there's an issue with our environment, and I don't think the student body's aware of it. And I think we need to pass a bill or at least bring a conversation that talks about how we can furthermore push the efforts to contribute to recycling, or maybe bring some type of recycling center on campus that offers, I guess, retributes, or you know how cans say, I'm 5 cents or I'm 10 cents. And I think student body would be very, very interested in that. And I think we could make a difference. My name is Preston Oden. Thank you.
All right, next up, we'll have Reese Anderson. Okay, Reese, you'll have 1 minute and it'll begin whenever you start.
Good evening. I'm really proud and excited to be here before you all tonight, and I'm here with the hope of being a mouthpiece for the arts and humanities on campus. So even though I study English, most of my free time goes to the Department of Theater and Film here, which I love, but I feel is really undervalued and underrepresented on campus. So show of hands, how many of you saw a production of Legally Blonde over the past few weeks? Oh, that's great. Thank you for supporting. So we had the opportunity to perform in the Ford Center, which was awesome. I mean, it's such a blessing to have a state-of-the-art performing arts facility right on our campus. But for as many of you saw that, I bet you also didn't know that for 7 out of every 8 departmental shows, only one of the, out of those 8 shows, only one gets to be in the Ford Center because the department itself only has access to it every 2 years. So I feel like because of the caliber of the students and the professorial staff, we should be putting the theater department at the forefront, because if Ole Miss can be respected in academics and athletics, why would we not also want to put our arts department at the forefront? So if I had the honor of being elected, I would want to serve as a representative and mouthpiece for the arts. Thank you.
Okay, next is going to be Hannah Watts. I think you could be doing that a little more minutes.
More minutes, Taylor?
Yeah. All right, Hannah, the podium's yours, and you'll have 1 minute whenever you begin.
Good evening, Senators. My name is Hannah Watts, and I'm a freshman here at the university. As a secondary English education major, I want to bring more representation for the School of Education by advocating for policies like standing desk options on campus, as well as cheaper textbooks. Implementing a campus-wide textbook swap is something that I believe would benefit students on campus by making textbooks cheaper as well as more accessible and promoting campus sustainability. As a senator, I not only want to meet with my constituents that I serve, but I also want to meet with faculty and staff. I don't just want to author legislation, but I want to work and watch that legislation come to fruition to meet its intent. ASB has done so much to shape my campus experience so far that it would be an honor to serve for an organization that actually makes a difference for its students.
All right, next up we'll have Brittany Bustillos. All right, Brittany, the podium's yours, and you'll have 1 minute whenever you start.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany Bustillos. I am a freshman, and I'm really excited to be here tonight running for a seat. I would really like to be a senator just because I would like to implement a lot of ideas or I would like to see a lot more like different cultures represented in the university. I know there's like like not a lot of like advertising towards different cultures, and I feel like we could have many different ways to do that. We could start off with like different booths to celebrate different cultures, holidays, and stuff like that. I would also like to see more safe rides for like nighttime. I just feel like sometimes I don't feel safe like going from the honors college back to my dorm, and I feel like there's like a lot we could do to make it safer for freshmen and upperclassmen as well. I really hope you consider me tonight. My name is Brittany Bustillos.
All right, and finally, we have Jonathan White. All right, Jonathan, you'll have 1 minute, and then we'll start whenever you begin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan White. I'm currently a political science major, and this is my first semester of my senior year. I'm one of the 1,500 military-connected students that voice has not been heard because of the non-representation on the ASB Senate. I ask for your vote so that we can now have a voice. I aim to fill that void of diversity within Senate and make sure all people are represented. My main goal is to improve the burden of parking for students, improve the mental state of students, and accessibility to mental health care providers by the university partnering with providers within the city of Oxford. And lastly, make the non-resident scholarship accessible to all veteran dependents, which will cover out-of-state tuition. Help me bridge the gap between the lack of diversity and non-representation of military-connected students at the University of Mississippi. We do not want to be a focal point, we just want to be included.
Thank you. All right, now we'll have them escorted back in the order in which they spoke to remind us of their names one more time before we debate. All right, if y'all just want to come right there and remind the Senate of your name, and then you can exit that way.
My name is Crossell Tato. I'm James Lee.
I'm Preston Oden.
Reese Anderson. Hannah Watts. Brandon Diaz.
Jonathan White.
Thank you very much, candidates. All right, is there anyone wishing to debate over the candidates? Yes, Senator Wall.
Hi everyone, so I am John White personally, House Governor, and I talked to Walden Veterans Association, or Student Veterans Association. And he has expressed a lot of interest in Senate and House of Representatives. And again, I really believe that better representation would be so beneficial in the Senate body because there's 1,500 students, like you said, 1,500 students that are veterans or military, and I think that's something that we need to recognize and help them through the process. And he's very into
Thank you, Senator Wall. Is there anyone else wishing to debate the candidates? Yep, Senator Osmond.
So.
Hang on one second. No, you're good.
So, like, I'm just speaking on behalf of two different candidates that came up. I really thought all of them were really great. But one thing that I do want to urge all of you to keep in mind is that we're about halfway through our terms here, so we really need to look for people that are going to be able to jump in and really get into this, especially because they're about to come in during the break time too, so they have to be expected to come in at the beginning of the semester, and they're really only going to have about at that point 3 months to serve. So I would really urge you to look for people that came in and had a lot of concrete ideas. And the two people for me that come to mind first is Jonathan White. I think it's really important to have that military voice in the Senate. I think that that's something that a lot of us tend to forget when we come here. As university students, it is a very different aspect of being a student at this university, and I thought you brought up a lot of great points. We've been talking about the burden of parking. We've been talking about the accessibility to the university healthcare options. I really thought that it was awesome too that he brought up healthcare options in the Oxford community itself. So I really like to explore what he has to talk about that, and then what he talks about having that scholarship so that out-of-state military students can receive, I believe he said, in-state tuition. That's really incredible, and I really think that that's something that we should focus on. The Senate does need to be more reflective of our own student body and student makeup, so I would really encourage y'all to vote for him tonight, and the other senator, not yet. The other at-large candidate that I wanted to speak on behalf of was Hannah Watts. I was really kind of blown away by how much she came and said when she first started speaking, when she talked about the standing desk options. I did an internship over this summer. Standing desk changed my life, so I really resonate with that. But when she also talked about the campus-wide textbook swap, I really think that that's an incredible idea for textbooks to be cheaper and more accessible for all students. We cannot assume people's income levels here at the university, and I really thought that was an amazing point she brought out, and then how she focused on watching legislation all the way through, and not just being here to offer legislation, and then when you work with faculty and staff. I really think that she has a lot of great ideas, and I would urge you all to vote for those two individuals tonight. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you, Senator Osmond. Senator Mattson. Oh, and then real quick before you go, just want to remind you about the proxy rules. Proxies do have the privilege of voting, but do not have the privilege of debate, just to clarify for any of y'all here. All right, Senator Mattson.
Okay, I want to speak on two people. First is Jonathan Watts. I feel like we don't have any veteran representation. That's like, well, Jonathan White. We don't have any like veteran representation. I feel like that's a huge part of it. I feel like it's like commend him for going out there, going up here and talking for it, because I know that this is a huge time commitment, but imagine that combined with military service or ROTC. And we're talking about the guy who's driven, the guy who's willing to put in hard work. I cannot commend him enough because I could not do that. Second person I want to speak for is Reese Anderson. So this is really, I think it's such an interesting opportunity. I have never heard anyone that's really hardcore in the arts department or in the theater department besides like Gianna Schultz, like last year, 2 years ago, come up here and talk. And I feel like that's because they're not very represented. I saw Legally Blonde, it was awesome. And really is the fact that they can't use it every 2 years. Like that is a problem I had no idea about, and that's a problem I think could be fixed by having her voice in the Senate. I think she has some interesting ideas and some interesting insight, especially since I know absolutely zero people in the theater department. Being able to have someone already on the end, already in productions, and already knowing the people who's involved with it, I think would be a huge asset for being able to help them out, because normally I don't really hear much from the theater department. Good the end of my time.
Thank you, Senator Mattson. Senator Amlong.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Senator Mattson said, specifically about Reese Anderson. I just think having someone from fine arts would be really cool. I know ASB, like a quarter of us in here are basically like PPL majors, it feels like sometimes. So I think having representation from other areas of campus would be really, really cool. Yeah, like was mentioned, the fact about the Ford Center not being used, that kind of blew my mind. I think all of us were pretty astounded when we heard that. And the big reason none of us knew about that is because we don't have that representation in the Senate. So I think we have a really unique opportunity here in electing her to the Senate. So I would encourage everyone to seize that opportunity. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you, Senator Amlong. Senator Greenwald.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna speak for two people. The first person I want to speak for is Reese. I've noticed that when I travel to other universities to visit friends and such, their art programs are extremely prominent. They have their student artwork hung up in their student centers, the equivalent of our student union. They have sculptures on campus in some places, and their arts programs are kind of at the forefront of the university, and I feel like we lack that. And arts and culture is extremely important to the state of Mississippi, and I hope to all of us. I worked in the Cleveland Museum of Art all summer, and I have a great appreciation for artwork, and I kind of noticed here that we don't value our arts program as much as we should, and I think that Reese would be a very strong advocate for that. The second person I want to speak for is James Lee. I personally know James, and frankly, James is not someone that's super polished like the other candidates. He's a freshman studies major, and he's just starting his journey at this university. That being said, he's super ambitious and wants to make big changes here. As we discussed in the Senator of the Year speech the debate for Senator of the Year last year, the winning senator was someone, a common theme was like, you can call her 24/7 and she'll always pick up. And she's someone that like people are always bouncing legislature off of, and somebody can always go to. James is the same way. I mean, he's the type of person that's always going to pick up the phone, always looking to get involved, and always looking to jump in. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you, Senator Greenwald. Senator Hollowell.
I also wanted to speak, Reese Anderson. I think that the arts programs are woefully neglected, and we talked about it kind of when we were talking about apportionment, how the seats are apportioned for band or other arts programs, and wanting to see them represented more on campus. We have sports represented, the athletics represented, but we really, I think, need someone that can speak to something really important to our city. So I'll be voting for her.
You yield the remainder of your time. Thank you, Senator Hollowell. Senator Beard.
Hey guys, okay, so y'all might not guess this, but I was a big theater girl in high school. And I really think that that should be more represented. I know like a lot of people, the only reason they went to a really one was for like the intro to theater class, which I think is unfortunate because what a good show. And so I think that should be something that like we should focus on more. I went to high school that like really valued athletics, but also really valued the arts, so I was involved in both. And I think that's something that is really valuable and that we should think about more, and that we should be more representative of here, because I know like a lot of us are involved in arts or anything, so it'd be awesome if you're able to remember our time.
Thank you, Senator Beard. Senator Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Oh, gosh. Hi. Okay, so I am going to just publicly announce my endorsements, I guess. I want to keep it short and sweet since GovOps is presenting 5 pieces of legislation tonight. But I will be voting for Jonathan White. I think the military representation, voice, ideas were awesome. And Reese Anderson, kind of echoing what Gary said, GovOps has already been talking about representation for people that are involved in the arts on campus. So that's just right in line with some of our goals already. And the other remainder of my time.
Thank you, Senator Ryan. Is there anyone else wishing to debate the candidates in the chamber on Zoom? All right, if there are no objections, then we will suspend the rules and vote. In accordance with the ASB code, each senator is allowed 1 vote per open seat. So each of you guys may vote for 2 candidates. The candidates receiving the most and second most votes will be named ASB at-large senators, and Secretary Hayward will now send out the ballot. You must be logged into your school email to vote. If you have trouble, try logging into your school account in a private window. She should have all the proxies emails, so you guys should get that to be able to vote. But if any of you don't, just let us know and we'll give y'all a minute or 2 to vote. Has everybody received the ballot by now? Okay, great. We're waiting on six people. We're still waiting on 3 people now.
My own list recently changed the password thing, you know, so like. No, you're good, we got you, you're good.
Okay. Okay. All right, the new ASB at-large senators are going to be Reese Anderson and Jonathan White. And if any of y'all know any of the candidates who weren't selected tonight, please encourage them that this isn't the only way to get involved in ASB, and commend them on getting up and speaking, because we all know that that's a very tough thing to do. So appreciate y'all's patience. All right, Jonathan and Reese, congratulations. You guys have been selected. If y'all want to come up to the front and we'll give you the oath of office. Either way, up to y'all. All right. Congratulations, you've been elected ASB senators. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Associated Student Body, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of ASB senator to the best of my ability. Congratulations, senators. Y'all can take a seat. Okay. All right, we will now move into a period of introduction of bills and constitutional amendments. Is there an author present for Senate Bill 21-20? Yes. All right, you may come forward. All right, y'all will have 5 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so tonight, I'm just gonna give a brief introduction for like everything really quickly, and then I'm gonna let Caitlin kind of like dive into the specific. But tonight, Senate Bill 21-20 to 21-24 aim to resolve the last standing issues within the ASB code while simultaneously cleaning the flowered and the repetitive language and removing outdated practices. These issues are in line with the code revision project that the Department of Justice and Governmental Operations Committee have worked on this past semester, and therefore I urge passage for the betterment of current and future senators, but also the mechanics of the entire associated student body and the impacts that we have on the student body's university experience. So starting with 21-20, this is involving PR. It's been in the code, but it obviously expires. And so I'm gonna let Caitlin explain like why we decided to keep it under our secretary, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, okay, so PR like has basically been floating for the past semester. And while like it was a great idea to have it on under all the exec at a certain time, we realized that not all the exec cared about PR as much as like it needed to flourish. And so sticking it under a neutral party that contributes to all branches of ASB, because you all see me around all branches of ASB, is going to be beneficial in having a clear structure and person over PR to make sure that all PR requests from programming to Senate is all executed as efficiently and as effectively as possible. And that is what exec, GovOps, and the DOJ have recommended, and I hope that you approve this with unanimous consent.
And we yield the remainder of our time.
Thank you, authors. Is there anyone wishing to question the authors? All right, if there are no objections, Senator Holloway.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, since it's expiring, how will they meet current, how will we elect a new or PR manager?
So the person who is in the position now will come before you to be reinstated at your approval or decline of her position. Since it is moving and changing names, it will have to come before you to vote on to approve or deny her.
And that'll be at the beginning of next semester.
Thank you, Senator Hollowell. Is there anyone else wishing to question the authors? All right, if there are no objections, we will now move into a period of debate. Thank you, authors. Is there anyone wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-20? All right, if there are no objections, we will suspend the rules and move into a period of author summation. Do the authors wish summation time? All right, thank you. And if there are no objections, we will suspend the rules and vote by acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no. All right, well, it is in my eyes by a unanimous vote. Senate Bill 21-20 passes. All right, is there an author present for Senate Bill 21-21? All right, you may come forward. Great. And y'all will have 5 minutes.
Hey y'all, so Senate Bill 21-22 is, 21-21 is about Title V of the ASB Code, which has long been the most disorganized title of the code and arguably one of the most important as it governs our student elections. And so because this title has been really disorganized, contains a lot of typos, it can be really confusing for candidates who are trying to understand how to run in an election, and also for the Election Review Board who are trying to interpret these rules and assess penalties as needed. And so basically what this bill does is just reorganizes Title V, removes a lot of those typos, and also removes all references to voting on paper ballots, which we have not done in years. So basically, this is just kind of an update and reorganization so that all of our definitions are in one section. It flows in a more logical order from petitions to certification to the rules for campaigning. We also codified or are planning to codify social media regulations. So in the past, the Attorney General's office has just issued an advisory opinion every time there's an election talking about the social media regulations, but they don't really change from cycle to cycle. And so this is just codifying those so that they're consistent from cycle to cycle because they say pretty much the same. So with that, we do plan to pursue some election reform measures next semester based on the feedback that we've heard from our elections roundtable discussion in October. But for now, we really just hope to clarify Title V so that candidates, the Election Review Board, and the student body have a better understanding of campaign regulations. And y'all can definitely see the specifics of that in the document that's titled Titles 5, 6, and 7 Proposed Removals and Clarifications, if you want to see some of the specifics of that. But yeah, just as a general overview, it's just simply reorganizing and cleaning out outdated practices for Title V.
Yeah, and I just want to emphasize that, I know that this, specifically with Title V, this is something that affects everyone in here because we've all gone through the election process, and some of us might be pursuing that again in the spring. And so I really wanted to make sure that, from a senator's perspective and and behalf of all of GovOps, that we made sure that there was no policy changes. Kind of just echoing what Grace is saying, this is purely a revision. I've been saying this all semester, but that was something that we really took into account because that's something that we are pursuing next semester. And with that, I urge y'all to vote in favor of this bill and yield the remainder of our time.
Thank you, authors. Is there anyone wishing to question the authors? All right, if there are no objections, we will move into a period of debate. Thank you, authors. All right, is there anyone wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-21? All right, and if there are no objections, we will now move into a period of author summation. Do the authors wish summation time? All right, thank you very much. We will now vote. If there are no objections, we will now move into a period of voting. We will now vote by roll call. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, say no. Secretary.
Amwell.
Yes.
Or it's aye or no.
Ashmore. Beard. Burgess. Cooper. DeQuilla. DeBelle. Day. Dedman. Durbany. Drury. Gully. Harris. Hollowell. Greenwell. Hughes. Jackson. Johnson. Jones Burdick. Kelly. King. Ladner. Lopez. Madsen. Miles. Monroe. Murphy. Neighbors. Nelson. Osmond. Patterson. Ricketts. Roby. Ross. Ryan. Saloon.
Senator Salome.
Stradinger.
Senator Stradinger, do you vote?
Wall. Watts. Williams. Wilson. Roberts. Smith.
Were any senators not called? All the new at-large senators?
Pierce.
Sorry about that. Anybody else for any proxies that weren't called?
Point of inquiry, I believe the two senators on Zoom typed in the chat.
Gotcha. Okay, they both voted aye. Sorry, y'all. Okay, by a vote of 42 to 0, Senate Bill 21-21 passes. All right, is there an author present for Senate Bill 21-22?
Yes.
All right, you may come forward. Y'all have 5 minutes.
Hey y'all, so Senate Bill 21-22 calls for the removal of Title VI from the ASB code. And I know at first that seems kind of shocking, but Title VI kind of operates as the miscellaneous title of the code. It's called the general laws section. And 90% of what was in Title VI either was covered in other parts of the code or practices we have not followed and that aren't significantly impacting the function of our organization. And so we're proposing that for the sake of keeping the code as concise as possible and as true to what we actually practice, to remove Title VI from the ASB code. The specifics of that are also in that document that I said during the last opening statements. So the 10% that is still what we practice, there's some legislation coming to address those parts. And we're happy to answer any questions if y'all have them about Title VI, but basically, like I said, just for the sake of being concise and keeping our code as accurate to current practice as possible, we propose the removal of Title VI and hope that y'all will vote yes on this bill. We yield our time to the chair.
Is there anyone wishing to question the authors? All right, if there are no objections, we will move into a period of debate. Thank you. All right, is there anyone wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-22? All right, if there are no objections, we will move into a period of author summation. Do the authors wish summation time? All right, 1 second. Okay, we will now vote by acclamation, unless we hear an objection to vote by roll call vote. We will now vote by voice acclamation unless there is an objection to vote by roll call vote.
On your point.
You need 5 objections. Hang on, let me clarify. You need 5 people to object to an acclamation vote.
Okay.
We have-
To clarify, Clark was objecting. Clark was saying you need 5 people to object to the acclamation vote to trigger a roll call vote. So we will now vote by acclamation unless anyone objects to a vote by acclamation.
Who objects to a vote by acclamation?
Okay.
3. Not enough.
All right. We will now vote by acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. All right. By unanimous vote, Senate Bill 21-22 passes. All right, thanks for hanging in there with us, y'all. Is there an author present for Senate Bill 21-23? All right, you may come forward. All right, y'all have 5 minutes.
Just like before getting into this, the reason why James, like our Deputy Attorney General, made that motion was because I don't know if y'all remember this, but back when we did Title I, this was like something that I expressed as chair of GovOps, that like this code revision process is really important. It's not something to just kind of like breeze through. I know that we have other things to be doing tonight. I do as well. But in the effort of keeping this like just, I don't know, honoring this and not like, I don't know, honoring our position and our obligations as senators, I really wanted to do roll call vote. I just wanted to express that because that might have been confusing for all of y'all who maybe have the mindset of, okay, let's just get in and get out. So, but yeah, with that, we will go into our introduction.
So I'm back to talk about Senate Bill 21-23, which quite simply removes a section from the previous Title VI into Title I. So this section is called budgetary procedures, and it basically outlines the way that the budgeting process for the Treasury works. And we confirmed with Treasurer Mabry that this is the process that we still use. And so all we're proposing to do with this legislation is quite simply move that section into Title I with the rest of the procedures, roles, and responsibility of the Treasury. So we didn't change anything about the title. I mean, about the section. We are just moving it from title to title since Title VI has now been disbanded. That's about it. And we yield our time to the chair.
Thank you, authors. Is there anyone wishing to question the authors? All right, if there are no objections, we will now move into a period of debate. Thank you. All right, are there any senators wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-23? All right, if there are no objections, we'll suspend the rules and move into a period of author summation. Do the authors wish summation time? All right, if there are no objections, we will now move into a period of voting by acclamation. Are there any objections? Yeah, state your point. All right, do we need to do a vote on that motion?
No, it's not a motion. It's not a motion, only just 5 people need to stand up and raise their placard and say, I object. That's 5 people.
All right, we will now move into a roll call vote. The clerk will now call roll. Please say aye or no.
Amel.
Aye.
Ashmore.
Aye.
Beard. Aye. Burgess. Aye. Cooper. Aye. DeQuilla. Aye. DeBelle. Aye. Day.
Aye.
Stedman. Durbany.
Aye.
Drury. Greenwald. Gully. Harris. Hurts. Caldwell. Howell. Hughes. Jackson. Johnson. Benverdict. Kelly. Aye. King. Ladner. Cesar Lopez.
Aye.
Mattson.
Aye.
Miles.
Aye.
Monroe. Murphy. Neighbors. Nelson.
Aye.
Osmond. Aye. Patterson.
Aye.
Pierce.
Aye.
Ricketts. Aye. Roberts.
Aye.
Roby. Aye. Ross.
Aye.
Ryan. Aye. Saloon.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Strasser.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Wall. Aye. Watts. Aye. Williams.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
All right, by a vote of 41 to 0 to 1, Senate Bill 21-23 passes. All right, is there an author present for Senate Bill 21-24? All right, you may approach.
Last one for the night, y'all. So Senate Bill 21-24 edits what has functioned as Title VII, which is the Code of Ethics, but will be Title VI now that the past Title VI has been removed. So as this is the Code of Ethics, we reviewed this title of the code just to make sure that that it's still aligned with our values. And so James or Deputy Attorney General Marsh proposed that we add the creed to the Code of Ethics. We talked to Dean Marsh about whether this was a good idea. We agreed that the creed reflects the values of the associated body and they're really strong guiding principles. And so we added the creed into the code. And then also this revision to the new Title VI organizes the responsibilities of associated student body agents, which my fellow co-authors can discuss as well.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say this has been like a super fun process. This like obviously cleans up the just revision and getting everything organized. I did the annotations myself and made sure this process just really cleans everything up, and dividing it into like positive, negative, and just like additional duties of a senator makes it really like, clean cut and everything. And just echoing what Attorney General Dragna said, adding the creed just makes it like exactly like, because that's something we hold ourselves to.
We yield our time.
Thank you, authors. Is there anyone wishing to question the authors? Senator Hollowell?
Yes. Why the discrimination clause was taken out, I feel like it's still needed personally. For those who don't know, it was taken out because it's in the Constitution part of the code. Y'all didn't take it out?
No, it was, it was put back in. We just adjusted it. The issue with the discrimination clause was that it was like non-discriminatory, but also like anti-affirmative action. And y'all can see like the way that we do our open Senate seat elections is very much keeping in mind with what people like, where people come from, their backgrounds, like their identity, just multiple factors. I mean, think about tonight, we elected 2 senators based on their character and like how they were able to present themselves, but also the communities that they came from. And so we tried to make sure that that line was inclusive of that and non-discriminatory. So we had to make some adjustments. So it is still in Title VII. It's just been adjusted. At the end, and the additional should be.
Yeah, it's in the proposed.
Should be in the additional. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. That might have been a miscommunication, but that was the conversation we had. So during debate, I might be like suggesting an amendment, but yes, thank you so much. Yeah, that was not intended to be left absent. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Senator Hallowell. Is there anyone else wishing to question the authors?
Yeah.
Senator Madsen.
So in the discrimination clause that you're talking about, is there no mention of competency at all, or is it just kind of like the background type stuff?
Is it what?
Is there no mention of the competency stuff, or?
So can I answer this?
Yeah.
So in the way that the former Title VII or the current Title VII technically is written, the non-discrimination clause says that associated student body agents cannot choose, like for example, when appointing positions, cannot choose, wait, let me organize my thoughts. It says that, Gray has it in text, but basically says that you have to choose the most qualified applicant regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, et cetera. But essentially what this does is allows us to only choose the most qualified applicant on paper and not consider things like the communities that people come from. And so we're proposing a rewording of that. We're not taking it out, just to make sure that we still do not discriminate on the basis of any of those characteristics, but also rewording it in a way that allows us to consider things like I said, the communities where people came from when choosing people for appointed positions and things like that.
Cool. Yeah, you remember.
And, oh,
Thank you,
yeah.
Senator Madsen. Is there anyone else wishing to question the offer? All right, if there are no objections, we'll now move into a period of debate. Thank you. All right, is there anyone wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-24? Deputy Attorney General Hirsch. All right, thank you, Deputy Attorney General. Is there anyone else wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-24? Yes, Senator Hollowell. All right, is there a second on that amendment?
Hang on. Got to read out what the amendment is before you can second it. What are you specifically amending? Where is it going in the bill? Tell us some more.
We have to find to write it.
Yep, that's fine. Is there anyone else wishing to debate Senate Bill 21-24?
If there are no objections, we'll take 5 minutes, just at ease, let them propose the amendment, and then come back.
All right.
Anyone object?
Thank you all.
We're in a period of. Okay.
Hey, if anybody objects, we'll take 5 more minutes. Hey. I think it's important to give a discrimination amendment the proper time that it needs. I have it in order that we have a quorum. If anyone objects to that, we'll take 10 more minutes, get the amendment properly written. 5 more minutes. Does anyone object? 5 more minutes it is.
If you're a newly elected senator, please come up here, please.
That's so cute.
All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and reconvene. All right. We're going to go back into a period of debate on Senate Bill 21-24. Do I hear a motion to propose an amendment? Senator Hollowell, is there a second? All right, Senator Hollowell, you may come forward and you'll have 5 minutes to present your amendment. And everyone should have, 2 minutes, and everyone should have received it in your email.
That's fine. 2 minutes. is fine. Okay, everyone. So just so you know, there are two currently anti-discrimination provisions in the code and constitution. One is in the constitution. One is later in the code and talking about things that ASB needs to do. We don't really like the one that's currently about ASB student body agents because it's kind of like Senator Ryan said, kind of anti-affirmative action, meaning we can't take into account critical things like the groups that people are in so that we can have a more representative body. And we think you should be able to do that. So we're amending that part of it. We're keeping the anti-discrimination provision from the Constitution. We're kind of moving it. So we're kind of making sure it's kind of repeated and affirmed that we know that we're not discriminating against people when we're choosing them, but we can take into account things that we need on this campus. So the first section is the associated student body are to choose the most qualified and capable, but they may take into account any number of factors such as a lack of representation for that group on campus. And then we also repeated the anti-discrimination clause from the Constitution. So I hope y'all vote for it.
And yeah, I just want to communicate that this was an agreed upon change before we came here, and that like government operations worked really closely with Department of Justice, hammering out stuff. This was one of those things that we were like initially not on the same page about, and so we came together, we worked and like discussed back and forth and tried to hammer out like what we thought was like a kind of a compromise meeting in the middle for both of us. And so or more or less. And so that I just wanted to like maintain that so that y'all know that like this wasn't just something that like came about in here. So yeah.
Yeah, we think it's important to take into account identity if we're trying to make sure we have a representative body that's representative of issues on campus, but we also don't think it needs to go to the point of discriminating against people. So
because that's already how we do it in Senate now.
Yeah, so kind of breaking the rule, I guess, already. So anyway, I hope you'll vote for this amendment and further passage of the entire legislation later on. Thank you. You'll be over time.
All right. There won't be any questioning on the amendment. Is there anyone wishing to debate the amendment to Senate Bill 21-24? This is just debate on the amendment itself. All right. If there are no objections, we'll now move into a period of voting by voice acclamation on the amendment to Senate Bill 21-24. This is voting on whether or not the amendment will be added to Senate Bill 21-24. All right. All those in favor for the amendment to pass, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. All right. By a unanimous vote, the amendment to Senate Bill 21-24 passes. All right, we will now move back into a period of debate on the amended Senate Bill 21-24. Is there anyone wishing debate time? All right, if there are no objections, we will now move into a period of author summation on the amended bill Senate Bill 21-24. Do the authors wish summation time?
Okay, everyone. I just wanted to say, in summation, also, first of all, thank you so much for the passage of the amendment. Wait, that we did that. Yes. Just making sure. And then second, thank you so much for just like cooperating through this entire process. It's been really great. I would like to say thank you on behalf of Department of Government Operations, Department of Justice, specifically Attorney General Grace Jagna, and Deputy Attorney General James Hirsch, and the rest of the code revision team. They were amazing. Title 7, soon to be maybe Title 6, definitely had a little bit of a hiccup, but I hope that y'all all maintain the same sentiments that we did and vote in passage of this bill. And I would also like to recommend that this bill be with voice acclamation. And yeah, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll just second what Maddie said. I just wanted to thank y'all. This is the final title of the code. So this is the last like comprehensive code revision bill that y'all will see. And it's wrapping up so nicely at the end of the semester. So I know these things seem really tedious, but as someone who has like worked with my team on this for a while, like we really appreciate this. James has worked so hard on physically writing out the new code. So I appreciate him, and also just like appreciate y'all's willingness to work with us. We provide all the recommendations, but ultimately y'all are the people that write the legislation and make the changes that you want to see to our code. So we really appreciate it, and just encourage you to pass this bill and finish up our new code. So thank you. I yield my time.
All right, and then just to clarify, after speaking with Clark, I'm going to now go into a vote, voice acclamation, and then we'll need to hear 5 objections to move into a roll call vote, just to clarify. All right, well, 1 second. So if there are no objections, we will suspend the rules and vote by acclamation. And if you'll raise your placard to object. I'm only seeing 3. So it is in my eyes that we will vote by voice acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. All right. By a unanimous vote, Senate Bill 21-24 passes. Okay, we will now move into a period of senatorial comments. Is there any senator wishing to make a comment? Senator Osmond? Sorry, wait 1 second. You're good.
Okay, sorry about that. First of all, thank you so much. I do want to say, I understand that the code revisions that a lot of us want to get through it really fast, and I really think that it's important that we get this due process. Sometimes it's really easy, like tonight, we almost had a really easy oversight, and that's the oversight that a lot of us did not catch beforehand before tonight. So that's why I think it's really important that just make sure you're reading the legislation and whatnot. But also I want to clarify why the Department of Justice and Governmental Operations is asking for a roll call vote, because I just want to make sure everyone understands why they're asking. When you vote by voice acclamation, in the minutes, it is not recorded, like, for example, how many people are here or how many people did vote yes or no. When you do a roll call vote, then you would say, in the eyes of the chair, it was like 42 to 0 to 0, whatever. I know this seems really tedious, and it does. I mean, it is annoying having to sit through a roll call vote. I get it. But when we're doing something like the code changes, and it's so important to the code, we want to have something to look back on to the record. And if someone wants to complain about why the title was passed, by this bill was passed, then we can go back to the minutes and say, look, it passed by a vote of 42 to 0 to 0. We had unanimous consent on this from every single senator. Now we went from voice acclamation, and sometimes somebody doesn't want to say no on voice acclamation. So that's kind of why I want to clarify if they're doing roll call voting. I will say I was writing an application recently, and I was looking back in the minutes for a bill that I authored, and I really wanted to get the official vote count, and I couldn't because it was voice acclamation. So it seems really dumb and tedious, and you kind of don't realize it until you run into the problem like I did myself. But that's kind of why I would clarify that, just because we're so much of the code. But like I said, I understand it is kind of annoying to us, but that is the mentality and the thought process behind it. So I wanted to make sure that was clear and transparent to everybody. They don't want us to do roll call vote just because they think it's fun and silly, because nobody feels that way. Other than that, y'all are doing so awesome. So proud of y'all. I understand it's getting towards the end of the semester, so I just want y'all to remember to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, really take Thanksgiving break to rest. Don't stress out, or try not to. I mean, I have to say that, but I can't sleep, so sorry. But, take time for yourself, really take care of yourself. It's getting, stressful during this time of year, but you're so close to Christmas break. But also just check up on your friends, check up on your family while you're home, take care of yourself. And please, as always, reach out if you ever need anything.
Thank you, Senator Osmond. Senator Mattson.
This is more of a solo note, but in ASB executive cabinet, one of my really good friends has had a family member pass away. They've been extremely involved in ASB all the way through, and I think not only solidarity with their family, but also all the effort that university community. We're planning on making a gift in the name of their family member. And one of the foundations that they put in their obituary. I'm gonna put my Venmo in the ASB grouping. If you guys can spare even like $2 or $3, purely to make a gift on behalf of all of us. I know all of us would probably want the same up for them if one of their family members passed away. I know they've been having a really tough time with it, so I really recommend all of you guys. I'll put my Venmo in the thing, but it's all gonna go straight to that foundation. But thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mattson. Deputy Chief of Staff Williamson. Wait 1 second. I'm sorry, I just said wait 1 second.
I forgot to say this earlier, our philanthropy effort just for Thanksgiving, needs more cash. So if you have any to spare, that will go toward, getting the gift cards, to the local grocery stores to help buy, food, for Thanksgiving meals. If you want to contribute to that, you can Venmo, Morgan directly. It's Morgan-Atkins-9. And also on behalf of Morgan Atkins, the president, she just wants to say congratulations to the new senators who are elected tonight.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else wishing to make a comment? Yeah, Senator Williams.
I just wanted to say, IC is doing a blood drive, so the blood drive is literally right there outside the cross. So if you have time to donate, go out there and donate. I believe, especially because I believe Mississippi is dealing with a blood shortage. And they also give you a free $10 gift card. So why not get cash? I also hope you save someone's life.
Thank you, Senator Williams. Is there anyone else wishing to make a comment? All right. Yep, Senator Amlong.
I just wanted to applaud the efforts of particularly Senator Mattson, but also everyone who went to the alternate meeting tonight. And then also Senator Williams and Senator Mattson, who were like front row at college game day holding the help save help sign. So that's pretty cool dedication to ASB and a good purpose. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Senator Amlong. Is there anyone else wishing to comment? All right, we will now move into a period of announcements. Is there anyone wishing to make an announcement? Senator Osmond, did you have an announcement?
It's really not important to have the mic on this one, but RebelCon is having a fundraiser tonight at Harrison's. It's a $10 cover, 18 plus. So go, who else wants an excuse to go out with their kids? So go to RebelCon at Harrison's after this $10 cover, 18 plus. This time of year.
Cool. Anybody else wanting to make an announcement? Yeah, Carolyn.
Just to add on to that, it's also a constituency engagement point.
Yep.
So constituency engagement points go out.
Yeah,
It's for RebelCon, so.
cool. Anybody else wishing to make an announcement? All right, I just have a couple. First of all, I don't want to hold y'all. I know we're getting late, but it can't be said enough how much work and time the DOJ and GovOps put into the code revision. It's not, finished, but a lot of the cleanup and reorganization, I think all of it has been accomplished. And so if y'all will join me in just giving them a hand for all their hard work. It's such a big undertaking that I think if, those of you who've been here as long as I have know in ASB that we've heard about revising the code since our very first year, but it's never something that we've really seen come to fruition. So this is a very historic and just a really impactful thing that we have just played a part in accomplishing. So congrats to everybody on that. And my final announcement is just congratulations to y'all on the end of a very productive semester. I can't thank y'all enough for all the time, hard work, nights like this where we've been making change that, and I've told y'all a couple of times, but that no student really is going to see on campus. But just know that my team and everybody in ASB really appreciates y'all I know our advisors do in the back, just they appreciate you guys' time and commitment to student leadership. So it might go unnoticed to a lot of y'all's constituents, but just know that it doesn't go unnoticed to us, and we really appreciate everything that y'all are doing. So like Lila said, y'all please take the holiday to spend time with family and take a break. Try not to think of the Senate chamber or ASB while y'all are in your hometowns or doing whatever. And finally enjoy the Egg Bowl and root on the red. Oh, and yeah, Lila just typed something, sorry, in the doc. We don't have Senate during dead week. I think I might've mentioned that, but so this is our last Senate of the semester. No committee meetings during dead week either. Y'all please take that time to focus on finals and make sure that you're getting everything done that you need to get done before the holidays. So with that, having concluded all business at hand, this meeting is adjourned at 8:43 p.m. Oh, sorry. It's fine.
Give them an extra one.
No, they're in the back. Yeah.
I know. Well, that's why I texted you.
Oh, wait, let me.
But just whatever, you like, y'all fit it.